do this. Hi, today's talk is going to be about states of minds. And when I say states of mind, what comes to my mind is meditation is a state of mind, self-hypnosis is a state of mind, autosuggestion is a state of mind, and affirmations are a state of mind. And what I find in learning myself through meditation, that most people are not aware of their different state of minds. I just learned today that there are 5 states of minds. I always thought there's 4 states of mind. So I want to welcome you to Discovering Yourself with Fred. Discover Yourself with Fred. Today's session is going to be about states of mind. I didn't realize that we had different states of minds until I learned there are 4 states of mind. And then today I learned there's a 5th state of mind. There's probably all different states of mind, but the states of mind that come to my mind that I normally think about, that most of you would think about, would probably be meditation, self-hypnosis, autosuggestion, affirmations, and those are for yourself. And then, mind you, in life we have other people that suggest things to you, states of mind. So suggestion is a state of mind. So I want to talk to you about the state of mind. Initially, I learned about these states of mind, and I'll tell you about the other state, which I really don't think we use, but we use all the time. What the alpha state is, that's a state where when you're driving, the best I can describe is when you're driving, where your body is one place with the steering wheel and your mind is somewhere else. Maybe you're thinking about what you're going to eat for dinner tonight, or maybe you're going to think about what happened at your job, or maybe you just passed your exit because you were thinking and you were listening to me, okay? And that's the alpha state. Is the theta state. And that's a state that I want to talk about today, and that's where most of the discussion is going to be about, and that's where most of your learning will go through, is the theta state. And then the last state we call the delta per state, and that's when we sleep, when we are not consciously aware what anything is going on. And we are conscious, but we're not. You know, we know about when we're asleep, and you know, we're still living, but we're not consciously aware. So just running through those states again, we got the gamma between 40 and 100, and then we got the beta between 12 and 40, and then we got the alpha between 8 and 12, and then we got the theta between 4 and 8, and then we have 0 to 4 is the delta. So with those states in mind, I mentioned to you that I want to focus on the theta state because that's where most of your learning goes on. Now, the way I learned about the theta state was when I first learned about meditation. And so meditation is one way to lower and calm yourself. And so what I want to talk about brain waves and lower and calming yourself, and I'm going to talk a little lower, and as I talk lower and slower, then you also feel that I am getting you in a lower state of mind. So the theta state is the state of mind right before you go to sleep. Now I know everybody goes to sleep. Some people go to sleep very well and other people don't. But the theta state is right before you go to sleep. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to meditate. We talked about meditation, but I'm going to show you how to meditate. I'm going to walk you through a meditation to bring you back to the state of mind right before you go to sleep. So what I'm going to do right now is close my eyes and tell myself to calm down. So what I tell myself is to imagine myself being by a beach, being by an ocean. I tell myself to pretend that I'm by the water, and I use all my senses. I can hear the airplanes overhead, as I can hear the waves. I can hear cars going by, and as I take calmer, I can hear the birds. And I can hear the birds, and as I hear the birds, I become calmer and relaxed. And I just imagine, I suppose, that I'm right before I'm asleep. And I become aware that I can go into trance. And I imagine, what would it be like to be in trance, is to sit quietly. And as I sit there in this state, what happens, all kinds of thoughts run through my mind. And I just let those thoughts run. I don't fight them. I don't tell these thoughts to be quiet. And as I hear noises outside, I just think of the noises inside. I can tell myself to relax. I can tell my head to relax. I can tell my shoulders to relax, my arms to relax. And I can also tell myself to breathe in and out and remember to breathe. And as I breathe, I relax. And then you become aware of your feet on the ground, where your hands. You hear the sounds outside, the sounds inside. And I get myself calmer, relaxed, comfortable. Sooner or later, you can get into that state. You just got to become aware of your state. So I'm going to open my eyes, but I'm going to stay in this state. So technically, I'm in a meditative state. I'm in a theta state. But I'm also in a highly suggestible state. In this highly suggestible state, you can tell yourself anything that you want to. And so I'm switching from meditation to autosuggestion. And as I open my eyes, you can tell yourself that you can go into trance by breathing and counting down. Let's count down from 10 to 9 to 8 to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you count down, you relax more, your breathing slows down, your heart rate slows down, and you get to that theta state. And you're totally aware of what's going on. You have total control. But now you give yourself a suggestion. And a suggestion is that every time you talk to yourself, you become aware of it. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Most of us talk to ourselves all the time, but we don't even notice it. But now we start noticing, and you will, what you say. That's pretty powerful. Become aware of what you say. Become aware of what you say to yourself. And one of the suggestions that you can give to yourself is that you have a lot of energy. And you can say to yourself in an affirmation state, I have a lot of energy all the time. I have a lot of energy all the time. I have a lot of energy all the time. I have a lot of energy all the time. I have a lot of energy all the time. That's an affirmation in the self-suggestion state. Or you can say is, every time I turn on my computer, I become as smart as my computer. I'm an information sponge like my computer. I'm successful like my computer. My mind is like a computer, and I can compute. If I want to know something, I just go back into my memory. So this is all in the theta state. So I suggest that if you want to learn how to meditate, you go into the state every day, twice a day. It's recommended that you go 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night. And you can do this anywhere you want to. If you take a break at work, you can go to your car. You could drive a bus. My favorite place to meditate is when I'm on an airplane. As soon as I get in the airplane, boom. If it's a 4-hour flight, boom. If it's a 10-hour flight, boom. And you're aware of what's going on, but you give yourself suggestions, you memorize. So what's the purpose of all this? Well, the purpose is we have a mind like our computer. And I know my computer, my phone right now is saying it's out of memory, out of memory, out of memory, no more pictures. Can't flash, no more pictures, because I'm out of memory. I got too many pictures stored in there. What happens, the reason why I think most Americans can't sleep is because they've got too many pictures in their mind, and at night they can't shut it off. Because the off button doesn't work because there's too many pictures. So the only way we can do it, either send those pictures to the cloud, and my phone did say, yeah, we can free up memory, all I have to send it to the cloud. I'm kind of scared because I've never been to the cloud with that many pictures before. I'm sure you haven't been to the theta state before. So it's get kind of scary, but I'm sure one by one you can take a picture at a time. So I've been emailing to myself to free up space. But meditation in the theta state is really to free up memory space. And that reminds me of, see, we have two minds. We have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And the conscious mind is like our computer screen. It's like the screen on our telephone. Whatever is on is our conscious. But all the stuff that's running in our backgrounds, all those apps, all those open apps, you know, that's our unconscious. And if we're aware of that, what app do we have open? So we need to close some of those apps. That's when we can sleep. Things don't work if those apps are open. So I never realized the reason why we go to the delta state is so that we can sort out all those different thoughts, so we can get refreshed for the morning. But a lot of us can't sleep because too much data. So meditation helps you filter your data. So that's pretty powerful stuff. So why do we meditate? To filter our data. You know, I don't know much about computers, but I know about defragmenting. I like that word, defragment. So meditation is like defragmenting. Autosuggestion and self-hypnosis is like putting new resets on your computer. Big difference. One is clearing the computer function meditation, and the autosuggestion is to clear up. And I suggest that after you clear, that you do suggestions. Because if you were to do new suggestions, and if your computer's already full, they're not going to take well. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
That makes sense.
So now with that too, you know, my friend is a computer guy, and he suggests if you have vital information to back your computer up all the time. So my suggestion to you is that you meditate all the time. It's a wonderful gift. It's free. You know, I always kind of joke around. People say, Fred, what do you do? And I say, well, I teach people how to use some of their body parts that they don't know how to use. And they go, what's that? And I go, well, the brain. You know, people don't know how to use their brain. They don't know how to defragment their brain, to relax. They didn't know they had a hard drive and RAM and different storage and outside storage. They didn't know all these things. I didn't know all that. But once you learn your computer, then you learn your mind, it becomes easier. Okay. So let's say, let's take a little break here. And I think this was a real good session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to come and snap out of my state and be in my, come back to the beta state. Hey, that was fun. Hey,
right.
Jeff. So can we take a break?
Sure. All right.
So
That was
thank
great.
you for discovering yourself. I kind of discovered myself a little bit then. Thank you. So, welcome back. Discover Yourself with Fred. And this is the second part of the second taping today, 11/12/2014. And I want to, first of all, thank Jeff again for suggesting that we have this video shoot. So I want to talk about the word suggesting. Earlier we talked about being in a state, and the state was the theta state. Again, we talked about gamma, beta, alpha, theta, delta. So I'm going to keep repeating those so you become aware of it. We all go through all those states throughout the day, more than another. If we take a nap, we go from beta to delta, and we go through those states all the time. But we need to also be aware that in the theta state is a state where we are most highly suggestible and where we learn the most. And that's the area that we call it unconscious learning. A lot of you, if you think back, you learn how to tie your shoes. Do you think about tying your shoes? No, when you tie your shoes, you tie your shoes. Or how about riding a bicycle? Or even driving a car? Stick shift, using your iPhone, your iPads, your telephone, your Android. You know, you just click buttons. Little babies, we can teach babies how to do that. But one of the things that's so much overlooked is the mind. We got all these gadgets on the outside. So when I say discover yourself with Fred, I want you to discover yourself inside. In a previous recording, we talked about acres of diamonds, and literally we have acres and diamonds within inside of our head. And so meditation, being in a theta state, is where we mind our own mind. Well, you know, when we say mind your own mind or mind your own business, that's really where you mind your own mind and you learn how to discover acres of diamonds through meditation, by sitting quietly, by just relaxing the mind. We don't let the mind relax. Let the mind be comfortable. Let it be awake. Let the mind do what it wants to do. People don't realize that we have a mind, and the mind's like a computer. It needs to do what it needs to do. If your computer is downloading, don't keep pressing the button. It's creating a function, it's doing a function. Your mind's the same way. You know, we force our mind, so we need to learn how to use our mind. So the first step is learn how to meditate so that we can clear space to clear the slate. You know, our mind is like a slate. It has a lot of things on it. It's like a blackboard or a whiteboard. We got all these things on it. So meditation kind of clears that slate, erases it. See, because if you can think about it, if you write over and over and over, you know, words that you had before, you kind of lose the message. What are we saying here? Same thing happens with the mind. So we clear the mind with meditation. So highly recommend it, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night, and work your way up to that. So you may start out with 5 and 5. For most of you, you probably have never sat down and just be quiet. And be consciously aware. You can do that on the bus, you can do that on the airplane, and you can be aware of what's going on. But you can also close your eyes, be calm, be quiet, be aware of what's going on, and not be asleep. And actually you can see images, you can hear sounds, but the mind just takes over. It's amazing when I look at my computer, I see the light going on, and things are working in the background. That's what the mind does all the time. But by closing your eyes, it's like putting your computer, put it in sleep mode. Doesn't mean that you're asleep. Things are still running. You're still getting emails. You're still getting updates. The computer is running all the time. Your computer is running all the time, but just in sleep mode. And that's what meditation is. That's what the theta state is. Put yourself in sleep mode and not being asleep. Now that's pretty good. So now I'm going to open my eyes again. And the best way to get into that mode is by having the eyes closed. But you can meditate with your eyes open. I had the opportunity to be in the Tassajara Mountains with some Buddhists, and they teach you how to meditate with your eyes open. You know, it's just like having a TV on and nobody there to watch it. You know, just meditate. Quietly. Don't say anything. So what I want to do is I want to open this book and talk about this book, Think and Grow Rich. And this is a 1937 edition, one of the old editions of Napoleon Hill's book. It came out in 1937. See, maybe, I don't know if you can zoom in on that.
I'm all the way in.
Okay, good. So Napoleon Hill talks about a lot of things, but he talks about to think and to grow rich, and riches in a lot of different areas. But the 4th chapter, he says, autosuggestion, the 3rd step to riches, page 95. And when he talks about riches, these are all types of different riches. Riches to me is health. Autosuggestions, page 95. Over here it says, there are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. So everything comes from thought. And that's what Napoleon Hill's premise is. And autosuggestion is one of the things that we have control of our thoughts. What we put into our computer, what we store in our computer, what pictures we put, is we have control of that. And in chapter 4, he says, autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind, the 3rd step to riches. Autosuggestion is a term which applies to all suggestions and all self-administered stimuli which reach one mind through the 5 senses. And I stress on that, the 5 senses. It has to be hit through all the 5 senses. And I want to stop and pause and just ask you, do you know what your 5 senses are?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Oh,
Yeah.
Good. The cameraman, Jeff, knows what the 5 senses. When I say Jeff has sense. If you don't have all your 5 senses, you don't have sense. You got to have sense. You got to have humor. You got to have sense. You know, and let's start at the top. The way I remember, because I'm a kinesthetic person, we'll talk about that another time, but I go, this is the first sense. That's the visual. Okay? Then I go to nose. That's the sense of smelling. And then I do the mouth, and that's the sense of tasting. And then I go to the ear, that's the sense of hearing. And then I go like this, and that's the sense of feeling. Okay? That's the 5 senses. Now I'm asked Jeff, do you know what the 6th sense is?
ESP.
ESP? Yeah, ESP is the 6th sense. Intuition. Intuition is the 6th sense. And the best way I can describe intuition is when you use all your 5 senses together, that's what intuition is. Intuition is if you know something is going to happen, that's that ESP, you know. But intuition also is that if you create something, if you add, you know, what's that old saying? If it smells like a rat and it looks like a rat and it walks like a rat, maybe it's a rat. That's that intuition. You know, hey, it smells like a rat. You know, really quickly you know what the sense is. Stated another way, autosuggestion is self-suggestion. It is the agency of communication between the part of the mind where the conscious thought takes place and that which serves to seat of action for the subconscious mind. See, Napoleon Hill was big on the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And one of the things that I've learned was that most of our learning is through our subconscious mind. We're not even aware of it. You know, we watch television and we learn. We read a book and we learn. We see an experience, we learn. But we don't even are consciously aware of it. And that's the beauty of the mind. And it's kind of funny because I'm looking at you taping and you're looking at me talking, and while you're taping and I'm talking, it's recording. It's recording my thoughts, my actions, and you grasp it. And now when you look at it, it's in your mind. So it's like uploading, downloading. And that's the thing that we do all the time. But now the suggestion that I have, let me show you how powerful suggestion is. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to say nothing, but I'm going to. Yawn. It's a powerful suggestion.
Makes me tired.
Makes you tired?
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah,
Yeah, you can feel it.
Uh-huh.
Through the lens,
Uh-huh.
through my action, power suggestion. Or I can say, you know, you may get tired of looking at me, but I can say, you know, I energize talking to you. Bring energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what auto-suggestion is. And so this discovering yourself is auto-suggestion of how to figure out yourself. Understand your mind, the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind. And when we're dealing in suggestion, we talk about the subconscious mind. So the simplest way to get into the subconscious mind is to go through all your senses, okay? So first of all, what I do is close your eyes. That's sense number one. Sense number two is breathe. In and out 10 times. So keep your eyes closed, go to second sense, breathe in and out 10 times. And if you want to engage the taste buds, you can breathe in, blow it out through your mouth. Now using the second sense. And the third sense is you can hear what I'm saying, and you listen to it, put it all together, and then you can feel your body relaxing, your body quieting. And then you can tell yourself, as I count down from 9, 8, 7, and as I count down, I relax more. I would go closer into relaxation. I go deeper in trance. And as I talk, I want you to wonder how fast you can go in trance. Some of you go into trance real quick. Some of you will go into trance sooner or later. You become aware of the sounds around you. You're hearing, you're feeling. You may swallow. You may taste. You may relax. Your eyes may close. Or maybe your eyes may open. And you listen to me, relaxing. So I'm bringing you to the theta state. And now, in the theta state again, we can stay here and just let the subconscious mind do what it needs to do and sit quietly. That's meditation. That's recommended 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night. So right after you wake up, finish doing your hygiene duties, find a quiet spot. I suggest you get the same spot that you would feel comfortable in, on the floor, in the bed, in a chair. Close your eyes, relax, count down. Some of you will be in trance before you know it. And you sit there and let your mind defragment, let it clear, let it sort the thoughts. Let it sort happy thoughts, let it sort sad thoughts. You may cry, you may laugh. Let it play, don't fight it. Some of you say, I can't quiet the mind. It isn't about you quieting the mind, it's about the mind doing what it wants to do. And that's what meditation is letting the mind do what it wants to do so it can sort out and communicate with the subconscious mind. So then I suggest after you finish your meditation, then go into auto-suggestion. what you'd like to see happen for the day. Today I'm going to have a beautiful day and nothing is going to bother me. I'm going to flow through the day having nothing but good news, good thoughts, good friends, good food. And when something happens, something that's adverse, that's my stepping stone. That's my stepping stone to get you to the next way across the waters. You need adversity in your life. That's the fuel that makes you be better. You need that pressure, that resistance. That adversity makes you strong. But the more you become aware of it, the more you can handle it. And you sit there and relax and meditate. And you give yourself suggestions. One of the most powerful suggestions that I want to give you is that you tell yourself, I love myself. And from the book, 5 Languages of Love, or 5 Love Languages, the big premise is that most people on earth are like children have an empty wagon without love. And we all need love. And we lack love. But we can't get love. And we're starving of love. We're starving of love. We're malnutrition of love. So one of the simplest out of suggestion that you give yourself is, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Dr. Emoto, in The Secret Language of Water, says that we can talk to water and the water will respond to you. You can say, I love you to the water, or I can say, I hate you to the water, and the water will discolor. If you freeze that water, the good water will crystallize in perfect crystals, and the negative water, and ugly looking deformed crystals. So as you hear the sound, the rustling, you relax and you meditate and you tell yourself, I love myself, over and over. And that's a real powerful source of auto-suggestion. I love myself. It's a basic one. Another one I like to give myself, I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm a winner. I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm a winner. I love Fred, I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm a winner. I love to win, I love to win. I love affirmations, I love affirmations. Affirmations make me strong. Emile Camus, one of the famous hypnotists in the back in the days, in the 1700s or before that, would say, every day in every way I'm better and better. Every day in every way I'm better and better. Every day in every way I'm stronger and stronger. Auto-suggestion, self-hypnosis, meditation, I love it. It's a good state of mind to be in. I can hear the sounds of the birds behind me. I can hear the airplanes in the sky. I can hear the cars. But I'm in a peaceful state. I'm in a state of mind. And a state of mind you can be in every day, relaxing. This is fun. While you're watching me, I'm in my own theta state. And to come out of that theta state, you can simply tell yourself, the rest of the day is going to be wonderful, peaceful. The rest of my life is going to be wonderful, peaceful. Whatever comes, I take, and it's the adversity I need to fuel me for success. So I think we did another 15 minutes of discovering yourself with Fred. I discovered myself. I go deeper, deeper in trance. And I didn't know that how wonderful state of mind it is to be pictured and to meditate. You can't see, you can't feel, you can only hear what I'm saying, and I know it feels good. So as I open my eyes, I want you to open your eyes too and come out of this trance as the sun kind of went down a little bit. Wow. And time went by and I didn't realize now that I look at the clock. Probably about 30 minutes went by. Yeah, so I say thank you for discovering yourself with Fred. Look up always. There's magic in looking up. Tell yourself to meditate twice a day give yourself auto-suggestions, and also always think positive. The glass is always half full. That's what it is, it's only half full. So that's all I can say. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Oh, Jeff, do you have any questions for me, Jeff?
I have no questions today.
You have no questions, so I have some questions for you, Jeff.
Okay.
So what do you think about this session today, Jeff?
I think it's great.
Is it great?
I definitely learned a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me, Jeff, what did you learn, Jeff?
I learned actually how to take myself into a trance, and that what I learned mainly was that two things you can do. Number one, defragment your mind through meditation, and number two, give yourself auto-suggestion thoughts while in that same state. And then when you come out of that state, you're ready to go.
Super, super, super. Well, I thank Jeff for suggesting that we do this. I hope that I'm going to put a suggestion in Jeff's mind that he suggests this to me more often.